Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Move Live. We're going to be getting into our mobility session now, which is going to be a nice little wind down for the week. So, hopefully, we've had a good one so far. What we're going to be going through tonight is 7 different drills. We'll go 3 minutes a piece on each of them. So, just taking your time to really loosen up and get that body feeling nice after a long week of training hard, or hopefully training hard. So we'll go do a quick touch base on each of them so you kind of know what's coming up, and then we'll run through them one after another once that timer is on. So the first one we're going to do is a seated straddle. So seeing Em doing the demo there, we are legs out as wide as you can go, and we're sitting as upright as possible. So if you're really flexible, you might get a little bit of forward lean like Em's doing there. If you are a little bit tighter, you might find yourself kind of leaned back, which is where you might put your hands on the ground just to help extend that posture up. So that'll be the first one. The second one is going to be seated quad. So we're going to have one foot tucked behind us and the other one tucked up in front. We're going to try and get that back foot as close to the butt as we can. So a really nice deep knee bend, leaning back on that opposite elbow. So that one obviously has a right and a left component. So we'll do 90 seconds each side. From there, we're going to move into a standing shoulder stretch. So finding yourself a wall or a door frame or anything like that, you can wedge your forearm against, and then we're going to basically turn away from that. So we're opening up across the pec and the shoulder. That one, again, will be 90 seconds each side. From there, we'll come back down to the ground, and we're going to go into a dragon pose. So this one might be worth, if you've got a yoga mat or a towel you can put under your knee. We're going to set up in that long split stance, and then we're going to take the inside arm to our ankle, outside arm up to the roof. Okay, and that one will be kind of moving in and out, again, 90 seconds each side. Now, once we've done that, we're going to move into a little bit of forearm mobility. So down on our knees, we're going to turn the palms to face the ground, so the fingers are pointing back to us. And then just kind of sitting back on our heels, levering back on those wrists. We'll do that for half of it, and then we'll also turn the palms upside, as if we're reading a book, and locking those elbows out to get the outside of the forearm as well. Now from there, we're going to pop up onto our feet and we're going to go into a Cossack squat. Now we're going to do this one with a bit of a tempo. So it's going to be a 3-second descent to a 3-second pause. And then we'll come back up to the middle and go to the other side. And that one will just be back and forth for the full 3 minutes. The final one we'll do is for our ankles. So bringing the feet close together, we're going to get one foot up on the toe and basically just draw nice big circles with our ankles and loosen those up. So, if you want to get a timer going, we'll get this thing on. So it'll be 3 minutes a piece. I'm not going to talk too much, guys. What I want you to do is focus on your breathing, try and relax, go into a bit of a meditative state if you can. 3, 2, 1, and we are on for seated straddle. So legs out as wide as you can. Important that we think about extending and kind of elongating the spine. So if you are going to lean forward, it should be from the hips, not from the low back as if we're rounding over. So you can hang out on that. It does help too if you happen to do this one near the leg of a kitchen table or a door frame, you can actually kind of hold that to pull yourself nice and tall. Otherwise, you can just sit and hold yourself there with your own arms. So already 60 seconds in, guys. Let's check in with that breathing. Let's think about sort of inhaling over about 3 to 5 seconds. I'm going to hold that breath in for a moment and then slowly let it out again. 3 to 5 seconds. That's a nice, slow, controlled breath. Hold that breath out for a moment and then just continue that cycle. So close your eyes if you want. As I said, meditate a little bit. Try to allow that body to kind of sink into that stretch. Halfway through. 60 more seconds. So this one's really, really good for getting into the groin and the hamstrings. If you find that you feel like you're kind of feeling it in your low back, you might want to, again, use those hands behind you, press the posture up, think about kind of tipping your pelvis more towards the front rather than it feeling like it's rolling to the back. Okay, 10 more seconds. All right, we're going to move into our seated quad stretch now. So this one will be 90 seconds each side. And we're going to tuck one leg up behind us as close to your butt as you can. The other leg should just be tucked up in front. And we're leaning back on the opposite elbow. So right now, Em's stretching her left quad and hip flexor. So she'll be leaning on her right elbow. Good idea when you're doing this one, guys, if you think about kind of tensing your butt cheek and your abs and actually rolling your hips away from the leg that you're stretching. So Em's stretching her left leg, she's going to roll to the right and wind that stretch up even more. Okay, 30 more seconds on this side. All right, we're going to switch sides now, set up on that right leg. Okay, so we're going to really pull it into a nice deep knee bend. So this is going to be a really nice one, guys, with all the sort of running and jumping and squatting and all those things that we do, all the rapid kind of hip extending with things like cleans and snatches. Being nice and fluent through the quads and up through the hip flexor is going to be a really important thing. So this is a really nice one just to open that up. It's a nice one too because it allows you to kind of relax into it. It's not one of those ones that's super agonizing to do. All right, 20 more seconds on this one. All right, we're going to pop up onto our feet and get ourselves a spot against the wall. Remember, you can use a door frame, anything upright that you can wedge your arm against. So Em's got her left forearm blocked against the wall there, and she's going to turn her torso to the right and turn her shoulder or turn her head to look over her right shoulder. So really trying to open up across sort of pec, shoulder, a little bit of bicep as well. We can also tension on and tension off. So you don't have to hang on just tight the whole time. You can kind of loosen it off, take a nice big breath in, exhale as you kind of drive across that body, loosen up through the pecs. So this is going to be a really nice one, especially if you've been spending a lot of time at a computer or at a desk, everything postured kind of down and forward, and the neck is kind of down as well. This will just help open that up a little bit. Okay, 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and switching sides. So she's going to go right arm now, block it with the wall, and she's turning to her left. So you guys can have your stance kind of however you want it, whatever's going to allow you to get the best kind of leverage to turn yourself away. Another reason why this is going to be really important is obviously with a lot of us training from home, we are going to be doing a lot of stuff like burpees and push-ups and a lot of, crawl position, press position kind of based things. So it does mean that our pecs and shoulders are going to be getting a lot of extra work on them compared to normal training. So this again will be a nice thing just to kind of relieve some of that tension and that excessive tightness through there. Okay, 30 more seconds. All right, now from here, we're going to come down to the ground and go into that dragon pose. So this is where you might want to have a yoga mat or a towel to put under your knee. We're going to go same side arm as the leg to grab onto that ankle, and then we're going to turn the other arm out. So typically we would do this one the kind of the other way around. We would take the inside arm up to the roof. We're going to mix it up a little bit today, create a little bit of a different angle. So you'll probably find this one really kind of open that hip up because you've got that arm sort of blocking that leg from falling in. You'll also get a nice big stretch up through the pecs and the in between the ribs, all those muscles through the torso there. So just looking at slow reps in and out, sort of 3 seconds to the top, a little bit of a pause. Same on the way down as well. Three, two, one, and switching sides. So you'll notice with that split position, guys, it's similar to a lunge. Only difference is the thigh on that left leg, so the one that's at the back there, is actually angled back. So compared to a regular run-of-the-mill sort of walking lunge or a split squat position, this is going to be much longer. So really try and get that front leg right out in front. So it's drifting those hips forward. There's almost a straight line from Em's left knee up to her shoulders, which is ideally what we want. So really try and get those hips forward and downward towards the ground. Ten seconds. All right, now whilst we're still on the ground, we're going to go to those forearms. So we're going to turn the fingers around to point back to the body. So we've kind of got the heels of our palms out in front. And then we're just going to kind of press the weight down into the heels of those palms. And as M's doing, she's kind of shuffling back a little bit, sitting back onto her heels and levering back through those wrists. She's really opening up the inside of that forearm, everything that gets really tight and ropey with all the grippy work that we do. So everything from dumbbell cleans to deadlifts to double unders, even that sort of stuff where we're closing our fists and gripping really hard. This is going to help open that up. So we're going to go for this one for 90 seconds, and then we're also going to do the reverse of this one as well. Okay, so we're at halfway. We're going to flip those palms over. So you need to point the fingers towards each other. So it should have the kind of appearance like you're holding a book, reading a book. And we're going to lock those elbows so the elbows and the arms are nice and straight. This can be generally a little bit of a challenging one for a lot of people. The forearms get quite tight. It's a lot less give this way as opposed to the other way. So slow into that one. Try and encourage those wrists to loosen up a little bit. Okay, we've got 30 more seconds, guys. Keep checking in with your breathing, yeah? Remember, 3 to 5 seconds, big, slow inhale. Hold it for a moment and then exhaling nice and slow, nice and controlled. Even though some of these positions can be somewhat uncomfortable, we're trying to relax the body into them so we get a lot more out of it. 3, 2, and 1. All right, we're going to move to those slow Cossack squats now. So we're going to stand up and take a really wide stance. And we're going to think a slow 3-second descent into a pause. And then pushing up to the middle. And then resetting to the other side as well. So nice and controlled. A couple of key things with this one. If you have trouble with mobility or balance, guys, hold on to something out in front of you. So whether it's the leg of a table, maybe you have a friend or a partner helping you out with a little bit of balance, that sort of thing. You also want to think about the leg that you're sitting to. So Em's going towards her left knee at the moment. She's driving that knee out to the left as much as she can. You'll see it with the right one here. She's going to push out. Also notice that the heel stays glued to the ground. So it's the same rules as when we do our dumbbell squats and thrusters and things like that. We're trying to keep a good purchase with the foot so we're not pitching up onto the toes. All right, halfway through this one. Give me 60 more seconds with this one, guys. Interesting thing to notice here. Notice M's straight leg there. The foot is going to kind of lift up a little bit and point up at the roof. That just allows a slightly easier angle, allows us to kind of get a little deeper into that squat. We'll see this again as she goes to her left. That right foot is going to kind of go slightly toe up. Rather than trying to keep the foot planted, it kind of makes it a little harder to get down there. So allow that toe to pop up. 30 more seconds. Three, two, one. All right, final mobility drill, guys. We're going to roll these ankles around. So with this one, what I'll get you to do is just sort of 5 slow circles on one side and then switch to the other side, 5 slow circles there. So we're not going to split this one by 90 seconds. We're just going to keep going right to left, but just give them a lot of range, go really slow, and think about sort of searching for the outermost limit of your range of motion at the ankle. I'm just going shoes off just to get that extra little bit. Going to see her freaky gymnastics, forward bending feet. I swear they're not meant to bend that way, but they do.
What are you talking about? They're not meant to bend that way.
I tried to do that the other day. I almost broke my toe. So thinking about just sort of circulating that ankle joint and just opening up as much as you can. That forward position, you can see where Em's got it right there, where she's got that ankle pushed forward. That one's going to be really important as far as when we do any variation of like our Olympic lift. So even if it's with dumbbells or a weighted backpack, if we do a clean or a snatch, we're going to be trying to aim for that nice big triple extension position. So that is hips, knees, and ankles at full extension. So if I've got more fluent motion at my ankles, it's going to allow me to get more transfer of momentum and power on those dumbbells. So really important to be able to loosen up through there. If you're tight through those ankles, we're kind of missing out on part of the picture. Okay, 60 more seconds. Three, two, one, and time. All right, guys, that is us. If you have a little extra time, guys, and you feel like revisiting some of those drills, particularly ones that felt like they were really, really tight or that you were getting like a really good release out of them, feel free to jump back on them for a few more minutes. But otherwise, guys, well done. Have a great weekend, and we will catch you next time.